Hi, I'm Tom Jones from the St. Petersburg Times, joined by Times sports columnist John Romano. And John, Bucs camp players officially report on Friday. Donald Penn not expected to be there. How do you see this thing playing out as we enter Bucs training camp?
Look, I understand why Donald Penn doesn't want to come. He got jobbed on the whole restricted free agent thing with the uncapped salary year. He deserved more money than the Bucs are offering, but he's got no leverage. He may hold out of camp for a little while, but he's going to come in. It's not going to be a long holdout. He'd be foolish to hold out too much longer, because then he's jeopardizing his next paychecks next year when he could be a unrestricted free agent.
So you don't see him. You don't think it's going to be a prolonged thing that's going to be a constant storyline through the first, even into the first exhibition game, do you?
I would think not. I mean, the Bucs are going to be a little motivated themselves once they see who they've got behind Donald Penn and protecting Josh Freeman's backside. I would think within 2 weeks, certainly he'll be in camp.
Is that the lone leverage really that he has, that the Bucs really don't have anybody else?
That's absolutely the only leverage he has, because there's a similar situation going on in San Diego where McNeil, the left tackle out there, is holding out because he didn't like his tender offer. But that's a team that might make the playoffs. And the Chargers have much more incentive to sign him than the Bucs do to sign Penn, because whether Penn is here or not, this is not a playoff contending team. The question is, do you want to put Josh Freeman's back at risk?
Speaking of Josh Freeman, this is his second training camp, and he goes in knowing this time he's the starter, unlike last year. How does that affect him? How do you think he'll approach this training camp?
I'm really excited to see what he looks like this preseason, because from all indications, the kid has spent a tremendous amount of time in the film room over the offseason, soaking up as much as he can. And the other thing is, he's going to have Greg Olson's offense for an entire season, as opposed to the hodgepodge they threw together after Jagodzinski was fired last season.
Yeah, looking at the last year's training camp, it was Raheem Morris's first training camp. They had a different offensive coordinator. Eventually, the defensive coordinator changed as well. How do you see the overall camp taking shape under Raheem Morris, with this being his second go-around?
Raheem has not been shy about saying he has learned a lot from his first year on the job. He learned from his mistakes. He tried to make things, almost I don't want to say a club atmosphere, but he tried to make things more enjoyable for the players. I think he's going to scale back on some of that. This is going to be a little bit more business as usual than what we saw last year.
All right, that's John Romano. I'm Tom Jones. Be sure to check out all of Bucs training camp action on TampaBay.com.